The KTM Duke 200 is the entry-level bike to the premium KTM motorcycles. It is geared towards the first-time motorcycle owners, offering ease of use for first-time riders with its compact exterior dimensions, among other niceties, yet giving them the thrill with their ready-to-race mindset straight out of the box, with its high-tech components all perfectly integrated to ensure maximum riding fun. The concept of a sports naked bike was first conceptualized in 2011 and saw its global introduction in 2013. A year after, it entered the Philippine market in 2014. Now on its 7th year since KTM introduced the Duke 200 to the Philippines, this bike has been giving Japanese bikes in the same class a run for their money ever since, with its standout features and best-in-class features at a price that's unbelievably affordable. The KTM Duke 200 is a smaller of the two best-selling Duke bikes in the Philippines, best suited for urban riding with its engine much smoother and less of the jerkiness of the larger Duke 390 model. This bike boasts of enough torque to get it by city traffic, but definitely had an advantage over other smaller motorcycles, especially in quick takeoffs and overtaking, powered by an ultra-compact water-cooled DOHC engine, providing maximum power and torque, yet with surprising low fuel consumption. This would be a great choice for first-time riders who want a bike with quick acceleration and great handling. The lightweight trellis frame, stylish headlamp, orange and black paintwork, and underbelly exhaust pipe are some of the highlighting design elements of the Duke 200 that makes it a standout among other bikes of its class. Admittedly, the first releases of the Duke 200 had reported instances of cooling issues, which was already remedied with the later releases of the first generation Duke 200s assembled locally in the Philippines by the Ayala Group. Priced at around 150,000 pesos, with additional discount of around 10,000 pesos on special months, this makes this bike very remarkable for its price point, with a price that's unbelievably affordable for its class. With the introduction of the second generation of the Duke 200 back in 2020, the bike saw a total makeover, with the bike completely revamped and got a very fresh and modern look, getting a semblance of the second generation Duke 390 with its angular designs and exposed trellis frames, making itself a very aggressive looking street bike available in the market today. It also now features a BS6 engine to meet the highest emission and noise standards while still retaining the power and torque ratings of the engine. Among other things, the introduction of the ABS as standard for this bike was one of the highlighting features of the new generation bike. However, with these changes, the bike got a markup price of 169,000 pesos, losing its early advantage in terms of price point in its category. Now with that comes the question: do all the changes and upgrades in the second generation of the Duke 200 make up for the substantial increase in price of the bike? But first, let's see what are the main differences of the first generation Duke 200 with the newest release this 2020. Let's begin with the looks, to which everyone will agree was the biggest change there is. The Duke 200 is a naked bike that is known to be visually loud, with a lack of fairings to highlight the thought that went into the motorcycle's design, which features its well-known trellis frame, aggressive-looking headlights, and vivid orange and black color scheme. While everyone thought that the first release of the Duke 200 had it in the bag, being one of the formidable presence in the streets, the second generation came out to up the ante, with its sharper angular lines and exposed trellis frames, making the first generation Duke 200 look a bit more conservative. The new Duke 200 assumes the look of the second generation Duke 390 with a new menacing look reminiscent of the Mantis razor-sharp styling and loud graphics, making recent Dukes look fast even while standing still. Honestly, for many interested in this class of motorcycle, performance specs are not going to be the deciding factor. The looks alone will sell this bike like hotcakes. There is no denying that what gives the new Duke 200 its aggressive look is the headlight. Not only does it look ultra mean, It follows the new design trend of the newer KTM models, giving that menacing appearance up front, hence that formidable appearance on any street that catches anyone's attention. Unfortunately, it still has an incandescent bulb and not LEDs as those of the higher model Dukes. The new release of the Duke 200 features an exposed split trellis frame, one of the things that sets this apart from the older Duke 200 version, which has a single piece frame. Not only does this give the new version a more aggressive stance and sharp lines, it also gives the bike more flexibility as well for possible maintenance down the road. Not only was the frame and claddings different between both generations of the bike now has taller seat height at 823 mm, 13mm more than its predecessor. And to add, this is now heavier by 10 kg to the old Duke 200 with its dry weight peg at 140 kg. This increase in height and weight may seem to be detrimental to some height challenge riders, but then again, the effect is quite the opposite as the increase in height and weight are not really evident as the bike actually feels lighter and easier to maneuver. And while both old and new generation features WP suspension setup standard to the KTM Duke models, having a pair of 43mm non-adjustable upside-down fork suspension at the front and monoshock at the rear, the new Duke 200 is said to have subtle suspension tweaks with more suspension travel, which should result to a more comfortable ride, something noticeable when you ride both bikes. The handlebar is noticeably closer to the rider in the new Duke 200, making it easier to maneuver the bike and made the riding stance more upright and in effect more comfortable, both of which can be advantageous when navigating through traffic, which improves the bike's everyday rideability to another level. The engines are still exactly the same, churning out the same power output of about 26 horsepower and 19 Nm of torque. What is different now is that the newer Duke 200 has a BS6 engine, meaning the engine is now Euro 5 compliant thanks to an updated airbox and exhaust system. With the BS6 engine, the bike now meets the highest emission and noise standards. The bike has now more refined power delivery, the exhaust sound is also much quieter, and the engine heat is noticeably cooler. Unfortunately, the restrictive exhaust of the BS6 engine somehow diluted the sprite takeoffs that we got used with the old Duke 200. But not saying it no longer have the torque or the power, you will just have to rev the engine a bit more as the power band move a bit to a higher RPM range. The other thing quite noticeable with the BS6 engines, while the gear shifting is smooth, it is painfully hard to find the neutral. I find this same behavior in all BS6 models of the Zwartpilen and the Witpilen bikes, both 400 and 200cc models, and interestingly with the Duke 200, which is now equipped with the same BS6 engine. So I'm guessing it has to do with the latest engine characteristic. Now, this bike's fuel capacity has been upgraded to 13.5 liters, and with a claimed fuel consumption of about 40 kilometers to a liter, that would bring you to further destinations in one full tank of gas. That is one great improvement over the old Duke 200, which averages to about 35 kilometers per liter only from its 11-liter gas tank capacity. However, one of the biggest improvements the new generation Duke 200s had was the inclusion of the dual-channel Bosch ABS as standard equipment for new bike releases. Together with the same vibra-braking system from the old Duke 200 model, the ABS will ensure safety in braking should you have to brake hard and stop suddenly. If only they would have improved the stock tires as well with better ones, that would have sweetened the package, as the bike still runs on slippery MRF tires, same as that in the old models. Both bikes still employ the same LCD instrument panel, same cable-operated throttle, same non-adjustable brake and clutch levers, and both with no slipper clutch. Things that would have been great to have on the new generation bike, but unfortunately not. But we can't have all the nice things without adding to the price of the bikes, right? So if we go back to our main question, do all the changes and upgrades in the second generation of the Duke 200 make up for the substantial increase in price of the bike? Well, in my opinion, yes and no. The bike's new overall design with its very modern visual styling, integrating the new trellis frame and standard anti-lock braking system, may already justify the increase in price. The introductory price of 159,000 pesos may have hit the sweet spot for this new generation bike, making it the best deal there is in its segment. However, with the current pricing of 169,000 pesos, this makes the price very competitive as compared to its nearest rival, the Yamaha MT-15, which is being offered for only 159,000 pesos, with features being offered that are missing in the Duke 200 such as the VVA, assist and slipper clutch, a much more advanced looking LCD display, and the LCD projector headlights. While there are obvious differences in engine displacement and power outputs, Yamaha's VVA gives the MT-15 surprisingly near similar performance, making it at par with the more restricted BS6 engine of the Duke 200. Nevertheless, as I have mentioned earlier, for many people interested in this class of motorcycle, performance specs are not going to be the deciding factor. And with the new Duke 200, with its premium big bike feel, that can be said as its top selling factor. That is why there is the demand, hence the price. Okay, so that's just about it. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe to BossTL PH and click that notification bell to be notified of our new uploads. Again, as I always say, stay awesome, stay safe, see you in my next episode. Bye for now.